Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 38 of Jux and All Things Sports Podcast. I don't know exactly when we started last year, but we've got to be coming up on a year at this point now. Football season's back. Gnar's back. The gang's all back. We got the records back up there. Field goal frenzy, money in the bank, prop bets, teaser parlays, individual teasers, and individual touchdown scores. Everything's back on the screen. I think we build from last year, so people see the history. Mostly, I want that 16-1 teaser pick to stay on the screen. A lot of football talk coming to you. That's what brings Gnar back to the table. We went through all the divisions. Today, we're talking NFL futures and season outlooks for the most part. Train's got a great outline here for us with odds on the futures. We'll throw things in as they come. Gnar, welcome back.
Thank you. Missed you guys.
Missed you too. If you're listening to us on YouTube, drop a like, hit the subscribe button. We're sitting at 26 still. No change from last episode. Got to get us to 30 if you want to see another duck race. 4 subs away. I'm telling you. Take a phone. Tell someone you need to call your mom, borrow their phone, sub to us on YouTube, give it back to them. If you're on Spotify, be sure to follow, drop a review. Helps us out, helps us move up the leaderboards. If you're streaming, maybe throw us on in the background, get us some exposure. First things first, 53-man rosters getting finalized in the NFL. Season outlook's shaping up. Time of the year where cuts happen. You're like, what, really, that guy? But yeah, a lot to go over, a lot of futures. Preseason's over, 8 days away from kickoff. Let's jump right into it. We'll start from the furthest away and work our way in. Train, who you got for a Super Bowl winner this year?
Well, I already have the Lions' future.
Naturally.
Because, if they did win, I can't just be like, I can't not have it kind of thing.
Yeah.
We know from last episode, or maybe a couple episodes ago, Hammy has 49ers. But from this list, you're throwing away money with the Cowboys at 1,400.
Yeah.
I don't think the Ravens are doing that well. I think it's probably, the Bengals have a pretty decent number on there at 1,100. So for value-wise, maybe the Bengals or the Bungles, as we like to say. But I think it's never too bad to go with the favorite with the Chiefs as well. So it's a tough AFC. I threw the Jaguars and the Steelers on there just so you guys can see the odds. Good teams, but it's a tough conference in the AFC. So I think the winner, if I had to be unbiased, is going to come from the AFC.
Nar, who you got for us?
The one team I don't like, and it's odd you said Ham picked the 49ers. I think the 49ers are going to just not be good this year. I think they're going to struggle to 9-10 wins.
Why?
I don't think their quarterback, I just don't see Brock Purdy being as good as he was last year. I think he's going to hit a sophomore slump, which is typically something for wide receivers. Usually quarterbacks make a jump. I just don't see Brock Purdy improving off the season that he had last year. I see a regression for himself. So I also think 49ers is throwing your money away. And Train, I'd have to agree the best value I see on the screen right now is the Bengals. I think Joe Burrow's possibly the second best quarterback in the league. And when it comes down to crunch time, I don't think there's anybody cooler than Joe Burrow. So I'm going to take the Bengals.
Any stock at the Steelers plus 5,000?
You know that answer. Always. You got to sprinkle.
I agree with the sprinkle on the team favorites. Trent got the Lions in a weak NFC, hence their odds. I think a team who's almost a lock to win their division, minus 195. I think you take 3,000 odds at someone who's presumably got like a free path to at least make the playoffs. I don't hate the Jags at plus 3,000. Can I picture them winning a Super Bowl this year? Absolutely not. They couldn't get by the Chiefs even with an injured Mahomes. They couldn't stop Chad Henne. I don't think the defense will regress, but I don't think it's going to progress. Offense might be leaps and bounds better, but we have yet to see. Bungles at plus 1,100 does shock me, to be honest, especially because I think Bills at plus 900 is a little bit too high. As Train and I talked about last year, it's a team that struggles to get by the divisional round in the playoffs. And the Bungles proved that last year. I mean, I guess it's whichever one of them has to face up against the Chiefs in the divisional round, or if they end up facing each other again. I think I want to take the Jets at plus 1,600, but I'm not sold that Aaron Rodgers is just going to transform back into MVP Aaron Rodgers level just because he's on the Jets. He hasn't been good in the playoffs since his Super Bowl win with the Packers. I don't think it's just this magical situation. I think the defense is good. I think he's obviously got better weapons. I'm not sold on the offensive line. And for a pocket passer, I don't know. I know Jersey Jerry's house is haunted, and Ghost said Jets are going to win the Super Bowl. I get it. I'm not going to say it's wasting money, but I think if you really want the Jets to win the Super Bowl, wait a couple weeks till they get some fire under them, drop some early games, and get some better odds. I do think I'm going to shock the nation and say the Ravens are going to be good this year. And I think that would be my pick for the Super Bowl winner. I think they're going to shock the nation. I do. I think Lamar's going to come back with a little bit of vengeance, despite what the people like. I don't Justin Fields. I don't see Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson has more arm talent. I really do. I think he's got some new weapons now. They got him OBJ. Zay Flowers has been looking nice. Dobbins is supposed to be healthy. He's got Mark Andrews. He's been in the system for a while. Good defensive head coach. New contract, committed contract for a committed guy. I can see the Ravens doing some things. I hesitate to do that because Steelers. Obviously, I'd love for the Steelers to win their division because go Gnar. But it's a tough division. It really is. But I'm gonna take the Ravens to win the Super Bowl. I think you're wasting money on the Dolphins and the Chargers. We saw how the Chargers perform in playoff games last season, and there's no way Tua plays 17 games and his brain is still intact. Those are, if there's two things you can count on, it's Tua getting a concussion and the Chargers choking in the playoffs.
Sure. Stewards.
Shout out Noah.
Shout out Noah. Shout out Jags 27-0. Our teams to make the playoffs train through these on the outline. Lions minus 165 to make the playoffs. If you're a Lions fan, great bet. You know, 'cause you're obviously rooting for it anyways.
And they also haven't heard that number for the majority of. Yes.
Yeah.
They've never heard the minus number in the
Yeah.
entirety of their life.
Which has got to be a little scary.
You gotta hammer it though, right?
Terrifying.
I won't be touching it. I'll tell you that much. I also won't be touching Jags minus 195 for the same reason. I mean, I don't think the Titans necessarily got worse, and they dealt with Tannehill injuries last year. Not saying he's a god, but he's a game manager, which works for the Titans. We'll see if Derrick Henry still got fuel left in the tank. I know he had injuries last year, but he might just be getting some miles on those big, meaty claws that he's got. And then we got the Steelers at plus 125, which I do think he should sprinkle. A team that consistently finishes above 500, good coaching. Things are looking up for Kenny Pickett. I'm not sold on Pickens yet because of the offensive pass interference allegations on all of his highlights. We'll see what he does with referees on the field. But Deontay Johnson seems primed for a good season. I think Najee Harris could step up, but I also think you kind of know what you got in him already. But in a league that is falling away from defense, I do think the best defensive teams still make playoffs. Do they win Super Bowls? I don't think so. Do they make playoff games? Absolutely. I'm a sucker for a plus sign. I'd probably sprinkle Steelers plus 125. I'm not touching the Jags or the Lions, though. Thoughts?
I mean, I'll sprinkle the leans.
You gotta. You have to.
I mean, I have to. I mean, every bet possible I have for the leans. I think the Steelers at plus 125. It's got to be pretty encouraging right now. Not making it last year. I mean, being very close.
We're 4 points away.
Yeah, points away.
Skylar Thompson
Dog.
ruined it.
What was he going against? Like the
The Jets.
Patriots or the? Oh, I knew it was an
Was it?
individual. I
No,
knew it
the
was an
Bills are
individual.
Skylar
the
Thompson,
Bills played
dog.
The Patriots. Skylar Thompson beat the Jets like 9-6.
Yeah.
It was an awful game.
Dog.
Didn't he get cut? What are you talking about?
You saying Skylar Thompson is a dog?
Yeah. Big Skylar Thompson guy. Better than Tua. You can't throw with
That's
your left
crazy.
arm and be a good quarterback in the NFL unless you're Michael Vick.
Fair enough.
That's my contention. Prove me wrong. Give me
The
one.
stats prove it.
Give me one other solid quarterback who's a lefty.
Steve Young. Isn't he a lefty?
I have no idea. Could be a great answer.
He definitely is. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
I was
there's
gonna say
two.
Dan Marino, but I don't think he's lefty either.
No
He-
shot.
he-
Dan Marino's a lefty.
I think he was right.
I'm also not. Did he even ever win a Super Bowl?
Dan Marino
Steve,
or Steve Young.
Dan Marino.
yes.
I know neither.
I think he got one. You said, which one do you want to know? Because I know neither.
If you want to jump to the NFC, I may have
Take
made a
us through it.
mistake.
I'm researching Dan Marino right now.
It
NFC.
literally should be an answer. The
NFC conference winner. I may have made a mistake on the odds. It looks like I have the Lions at plus 110. That's not the right odds. I'm assuming it's supposed to say plus 1100. But if you look at the teams past the Lions, the Saints, Seahawks, Vikings, Falcons, of those teams, I would decide to sprinkle at heavy money, maybe the Vikings. I think having, the Seahawks and the Saints higher than them is kind of crazy. They had 13 wins last year, the Vikings. So, I mean, I know they lost some guys, but they won the games, and I can't, say they didn't. Did they win a lot of close games? Yeah, but that's what it takes in the NFL. So I think sprinkling 2,000 on the Vikings, it's not horrible in my eyes, at least. Obviously, I have the Lions as well. But I think those would be my two bets. Long shots for sure, both out of the North. But I think that's what I would have to say. I mean, Eagles at plus 250 and the 49ers at plus 380 is probable, I guess, to go to the Super Bowl. But why not?
Dan Marino never won a Super Bowl. He also
Well, he was a
wasn't.
righty.
He also wasn't a lefty. Yes, Steve
Yeah.
Young was a lefty.
Yes.
So there's one, an old white guy for the Niners. Other than that, what? Tim Tebow? Get out of here. I'm so sick of Tua talk. I can't wait till the Dolphins crash and burn, and I can't wait till, the Cowboys crash and burn again. And I don't know. Who else am I rooting for to stink? I don't know. Someone else. Oh, Justin Fields. Fuck the Bears, man. Those three, I'm ready for all their seasons just to be over. Yeah, Train, I agree with everything you said.
Nice. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Nar?
Yeah, for NFC, I think the only two bets I'm willing to take is one, the Lions to root with you guys. And other than that, I think Eagles are by far and away the best team in the NFC. And I think it's going to take a major injury to a key player for them to get dethroned as NFC champs. I've already said my piece about the 49ers, and you're saying the next best team is the Cowboys. I don't think the Eagles struggle this year.
I think we got a chance.
I'm going to say something
Yeah,
that's going to
I
make
agree.
a lot of listeners upset. I kind of like the Vikings this season.
what I just said. Yeah,
Plus 2,000.
I know. Why not sprinkle it?
Jordan
They went
Addison
13
is a
and
step
4.
up from Adam Thielen.
To
And
be
they're,
The
fair,
running
Bach
back room is
didn't.
kind of a disaster, but
yeah, but it was a
To be fair,
disaster last year. I mean, was Dalvin Cook ever really healthy? It's a running back. Like, Isaiah Pacheco was the Super Bowl running back last year. And Miles Sanders was the other one. When was the last premier running back you saw in a Super Bowl?
beast mode.
Todd Gurley.
Yeah.
And
I
he
mean,
scored 3 points.
like, I both guys, like, when was Todd Gurley in the Super Bowl? 16?
Yeah.
Beast mode, what? 13, 14?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you might be onto something here, Bach.
Good running backs don't get you to Super Bowls anymore. That's why you don't pay them, because there hasn't been a team that's paid a running back that's made a Super Bowl in years, as far as I know. Jordan
Bach, that's a
Addison
good
is
point.
miles better than Adam
Playoff
Thielen.
Lenny.
Yeah, but I mean, he was on his vet min deals at that point.
Yeah, he's still a free agent right now.
It's I like to sprinkle the Vikings. I don't know why you even put the Falcons on here. I really think
Yeah, because it shocked me.
Ritter's not going to be good.
Like they have the second best odds, or they have the next best odds after the Vikings. Get out of here,
With the
right?
yeah, it's tough, but I
The
mean,
NFC stinks, dude.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Holy
Oh yeah.
shit.
it's top heavy. So then you're betting on. And I'm also guessing the Lions are plus 1,100, not plus 110.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. I believe so.
Bach,
I'm silly
Bach,
mistake.
did you even listen to Cole?
No, not an
I don't
ounce.
think.
Not
So
an
I
ounce.
completely agree with everything you said.
Yeah.
Now you keep repeating what I said.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean,
we're not professionals here. We just do it.
I'm not sprinkling the Lions again either. I've lived through too many disappointments. It's why I left ship. Skull Vikes. AFC.
Nar, you want to take it? Your
Yeah.
First take?
Obviously, my Super Bowl pick with the Bengals sitting there at plus 550 has got to be my favorite. And then, like Bark said, the Jaguars, they're favored to win by the division by a mile. You got to imagine they're putting rest on their starters week 16, 17 with that locked up. Maybe fighting for a home or 2 home games instead of just 1, with in division records being 6-0. I don't hate that bet, and I think Trevor Lawrence could be close to making that next jump into that superstardom versus the
Dog.
second year jump that he had. And
Dog.
Calvin Ridley, which is probably my favorite, most exciting wide receiver that we didn't get to watch last year.
People forgot. 2 years. 2 years of no Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, and he was nasty.
Nasty.
Depressed.
And that was when he was playing with Matt Ryan. Now he's got Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, but Matt Ryan's arm wasn't like a dead fish at that point. He could still sling it a little bit.
Yeah. Ridley's last year, it was like a fish that you think is dead, but you kick it a little bit, it starts flopping around a little bit more. Like, all right, he's still got some kick in him. And he really died when he went to the Colts quarterback graveyard.
Wait, the Broncos have better odds than the Steelers?
Hey, watch out for the Coes, dude.
All right, I forgot that I mean,
Watch.
I don't know why I didn't put him on there now.
Watch out for the Broncos. What I'll say on the AFC is, obviously, you can throw like $10 on the Chiefs to give yourself a little bit of a bankroll. So that way you can throw 2 bombs, and then if the Chiefs still win it, you get your money back at least. Like, I mean, throw a unit on the Chiefs, and then you throw a unit on the Jags, and a unit on the Bungles, and you're probably looking at plus money no matter what. I'm trying right now. I'm trying to walk myself through an AFC championship or an AFC division round. What 4 teams get there? And I think it's going to be very similar. And I'm sorry, Justin, but I don't think the Bills are. Well, they might get a bye. I don't like
No,
the
I think their
Jets.
Their
division's
division
too hard.
is pretty
Their
tough.
division's too hard.
I don't like the Jets or the Dolphins at plus 1100. Again, I'm not sold on Aaron Rodgers yet. I think it's a step up, and they've got a good defense, so maybe. But you're hoping you get old Aaron Rodgers back. We haven't seen old Aaron Rodgers back. He's succeeded without weapons before, so it's like people talk about it. Oh, he didn't have any weapons in Green Bay last year. When has he ever, besides Devontae Adams? I mean, Greg Jennings.
He
Like,
had Devontae. He had prime Devontae for like 5 years though.
yeah, but if you think that's why Aaron Rodgers was good, I don't know if that's why. I think he was good before Devontae. Like, I don't know. It's just I don't know that Aaron Rodgers is going to come back and be MVP Aaron Rodgers again. So I mean, I think they'll be good. Do I think they'll win the AFC? No. Out of those three teams at plus 1100, I'd rather have the Ravens again. I kind of like I feel bad for Nar this year because I like a lot of guys in that division. I think the Browns are going to be good. I think Deshaun Watson had a little bit of a warm-up year. I think he's going to be Houston Texans Deshaun Watson again. He's got
He never showed a flash of being good last year.
No, he did not.
He was off
agree.
he was off 6 games. He had all the shit going on with like seducing masseuses and whatnot. He's got Amari Cooper, Nick Chubb, a decent O-line, solid defense. Browns are a team to watch out for. I really believe that. They succeeded with Baker Mayfield. They can succeed with Deshaun Watson. No
I
doubt
don't
in my
think they
mind.
make the Super Bowl though.
They might.
Dude,
Now,
Not as crazy as saying the Lions will.
Now, I mean, again, Nick Chubb, pristine
Could you
running
ima-
back. History says
could
no.
you imagine Could you imagine United States if the Lions played the Browns in the Super Bowl?
Oh, dude.
That'd be insane. And I do like the Broncos. I'm buying into the Sean Payton hype.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, it's.
I am too, Bach. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think Russ is gonna be prime Seattle Seahawks Russ, but I don't think he's gonna be Broncos Russ of last year.
Let's ride.
I think they'll be solid. I don't think they'll win the AFC. I think they could beat the Chargers. I'll say that much.
Who's your pick, Bot?
To win the AFC
Yeah.
with 12 wins, it's got to be the Jags.
I'll go Bungles.
With 12
Chiefs are
wins,
having
it's
some
gotta be the
issues.
Jags.
Chiefs are having some issues with Chris Jones. That's big, and I know he said until week 8, but if they're struggling 8 weeks out of the year, they might not lock up the 1 seed. And with the Bills in that division, I mean, hey, the Bungles division's just as tough. I will say that, but I trust them a little bit more than I do with the Bills. I think the Bengals can get the 1 seed and kind of not walk into, but it's a lot easier having that 1 seed, having the game off, playing at home every game, and I think Burrow goes back from 2 years ago.
Going to be tough for the Chiefs after starting 0-2.
Yeah, love it.
Going to be tough starting 0-2, Nar. We already went over divisions winners and win totals, so we got that locked up. So we'll move on to player awards. MVP. It's been quarterback for years because, of course, if a
I went down the line all the way down to where it was finally some non-QBs, so I could just see what their odds looked like, and it's just ridiculous.
I think
It's just a quarterback vote.
yeah, and I think my pick is going to be Joe Burrow. I think it's his time.
We are sucking the Bungles.
We
dicks a
are.
little bit.
Well,
I
I
don't
didn't. I didn't take him to win the AFC, but you did.
Yeah, well, I guess I am. Yeah, mostly.
I don't know. I'm just looking at it. I
think I want to go.
say
I
it.
think I want to go.
Come on, do it, Trent.
Kenny pick. No, just kidding.
No, the other one. The other one.
You don't want Deshaun Watson, Bach?
Maybe for comeback player of the year. You're wasting money if it's not DeMar Hamlin.
Oh yeah. We'll get
We'll
there. I
get
have
there.
it
We'll
on here.
get
I
there.
have it
We'll
on
get
here.
there. All right. All right.
Which I might have a take on. But give me
Do it.
give me Lamar.
Ah, no. Wrong one again. I
Give
like
me
it. I
Lamar.
like it.
I mean, he's been an MVP before. He's got guys now. He's got money now. He's got a healthy JK. I mean,
And Gus
you know
Bus.
who Lamar is. As long as he plays 17 games, the man's dominant. I
Yeah.
mean, you have to worry about his injuries, and one thing I hate worrying about is injuries before they happen. So, um, yeah, that's my pick. Other than that, sprinkle Jared Goff. The guy just doesn't. He limited turnovers in our 10 week comeback, I guess, at the end of the season. And as much as people don't like it, he's just a safe, conservative quarterback that, I mean, during those weeks at least, that did pretty well. Plus 4,000, put $1, get 40. Put 40, get a lot. So
Who's winning the MVP?
Well, going back to my Super Bowl pick, saying I was thinking Joe Burrow was the second best quarterback in the league. And I even look at the odds, and that kind of proves it there. So I feel like people should take that into consideration for team futures. But seeing Jalen Hurts as a number 4 overall in terms of odds, and you're getting a guy that can run and pass and is on the weaker side of the two conferences, I think they're going to win the most amount of games in the league. They only got better from last year, had another good, strong draft, just continuing to farm off Georgia. I like Jalen Hurts as my pick
I
for
thought about
MVP.
him too.
I also thought about him.
I like it.
Well, I also thought about everybody on the list.
Even Justin Fields. Give me.
Fucking running. He's a running back who takes snaps. I don't give a fuck about
Justin
weapons,
Jefferson
O
plus
line.
10,000.
I'd put money on Jay Jettas to win an MVP before I would Justin Fields. Bears are gonna be 3-14 again, and they're gonna have a lot of pressure to pick Caleb Williams in this draft.
Oh, that's a take.
A lot of pressure.
That's crazy.
As the GM of the Bears, if you have to sit there if you're sitting at the number 1 pick and you're still gonna ride Justin Fields, you are a fool. Fool. Offensive Player of the Year.
I'm between two here.
Betwixt.
And we're staying in the AFC again because it's just the better side of the conference. And I'm looking between Nick Chubb and Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill was on a pace that was matching Justin Jefferson when he had Tua throwing him the ball because it gave him the ball and he just ran around everybody. And you get Nick Chubb on a team without Kareem Hunt, and they didn't necessarily backfill that position. So I think he's going to have the opportunity to catch more passes, get more yards, get more touchdowns.
Definitely.
So I think I'm going to pick Nick Chubb.
Fuck! That was my pick, dude. Can I double down? Can I double down on that?
I think you can double down.
I think everything Nar said was phenomenal. I mean, Tyreek makes sense, but the key was when Tua was throwing to him. And, I mean, when we're watching preseason highlights of this guy falling to the ground better, I don't think that's encouraging. Now, I think Waddle takes a step forward. They're consistently rumors in the running back market. I see a Tyreek down year this year. Everyone's high on him because, if Tua's brains don't go to mush again. Andrew Luck retired very early because of head injuries. And he didn't have anything like what Tua's got. One more, and that man is done for the season. I know Train said he can't count on injuries, this, that. When it's a brain that's not connected to a brainstem and just rattling around inside the skull as he's jogging across the field, you can count on injuries. Tua will not play 17 games this year. He probably won't even play 10. Nick Chubb's my pick because I agree. They didn't. Oh, I thought he said Bak. He said Rock.
Hi, buddy.
Right.
You'd think I'd want to go Jamar Chase because I just took Burrow to win MVP, and I don't hate that at plus 1,100. I mean, Jettas is safe. I just don't think they go back-to-back for him. And I do think Addison is a step up from Thielen, so I think he'll take some touches away from Jamar Chase or Jay Jettas. But Nick Chubb just got more touches. He's the only guy I'm seeing who got more touches. In terms of Jamar Chase, you talk about not counting on injuries. If T. Higgins is healthy all year and Tyler Boyd is still what he is as a wide receiver 3, doesn't leave a lot for Jamar Chase. And just looking at the list, I mean, start getting into Fields and Jackson and back into the quarterbacks. Maybe Amon-Ra, but I think he's more of a volume reception guy than he is like big catch, big yards kind of guy. Not that he can't make big catches for big yards and touchdowns, but more of a
That's the
slot
biggest
guy.
thing he's working on in the offseason is deep threat.
I would love the Amon-Ra pick if he just scored more touchdowns, but he doesn't get in the end zone enough for me.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll see with no Jamal Williams.
His touchdown reception ratio is just not high enough for a
Give me Nick Chubb though. I'm doubling down with Gnar. Give me Nick Chubb. Train.
I'm definitely sprinkling Amon-Ra because we lost Chark.
I don't hate
Who's our wide
sprinkle.
receivers? I mean, like, even if he doesn't get a whole lot of touchdowns, I mean, I still think he gets 10 plus with 600 receptions.
10 plus touchdowns?
Yes. 600 receptions. Like
Wait, what?
600?
maybe over 100 plus. I think he's just going to get so many targets before J-Mo comes back that it's just who's our wide receiver 2?
Marvin Jones.
It's a fight between Marvin Jones, Josh Reynolds, and Khalif Raymond. Like
Queef Raymond.
It's not Queef Raymond. It's not really that. It's not great for Lions fans because we're like, okay, our wide receiver, we have a great wide receiver 1, and then we take a massive dip. I mean, I love our wide receivers, but they're not nearly as good as Amon-Ra. So I'm sprinkling that, and then I got to go with a favorite, Jamar Chase. Like you said, Bark, I think I'd take Justin Jefferson, but I don't think they like giving someone it back-to-back years, which I doesn't make sense to me. If they're obviously the offensive player of the year, regardless of if they've won it 4 years in a row, they should win it again. But they don't, so I'll go Jamar Chase as well.
If we're talking sprinkles, I'm going to go ahead and sniff that T-Law plus 4,500 too.
Yeah, why not?
With that offense, I could see them being like 10-7, but the offense is crazy and the defense blows games, and I think it's spread out enough to where he can have aggressive offensive stats and not be outshined by like Calvin Ridley having a great year, since they tend to give it to like receivers as opposed to, because like MVPs are for the quarterbacks. Offensive player of the year is typically a non-quarterback award. But I could see Trevor Lawrence shining a bit between two good pass-catching running backs, deep receiver core, and a good tight end. Defensive player of the year. Trent, take us off.
Defensive player of the year. I love to see Aiden Hutchinson where he was, plus 2,500. I don't think he will, just because now he doesn't have to do everything basically for our defense. I think our defense did improve. Micah Parsons, Myles Garrett, T.J. Watt at the top. I think it wouldn't be crazy to say Max Crosby. I think that's my pick at plus 2,000. I think he's going to do a lot for that defense. He has done a lot for that defense. Yeah, that's my guy. I think he's a beast. Obviously, I do like the guys up top, but this is mainly just a pod for, just shouting out the guys who likely won't, but might get them, because we can take favorites all day. But
True.
Max Crosby.
Yeah, it's no fun just taking the favorites. Nar, who you got?
Yeah, this is typically an award dominated by the D-line. Somebody who's going to get the most amount of sacks. Somebody who's going to wreck a game every week. And I think people are forgetting who T.J. Watt is.
Yeah, make the
Last
pick,
time he had
Nar.
a full season, he broke the fucking sack record. He's got a guy all of a sudden opposite of him that can get get you 13 to 15 sacks a year as well, and Alex Highsmith. So there's going to be less attention going to TJ. Still quite a bit, but I think a full season. He got hot at the end last year, and I think he's going to take it in, and he's going to get 2 of these awards in 3 years. Give me TJ. Wow.
Did you see his bet with McAfee?
Yeah, 500K.
500K to break the sack record. I like that pick. I do.
Pat McAfee just pays him $500,000. There's nothing for him to lose.
Charity of TJ Watt's choice. Yes.
Yeah, he doesn't lose. He doesn't lose anything.
Okay.
I wanted to pick Sauce Gardner because, I think he's going to continue to be great, and he was great last year. But like Gnar just said, it's a defensive line outside linebacker award because a good cornerback doesn't normally have great stats. I mean, Trayvon Diggs was praised because he got picks. He also gave up a fuck ton of yards and touchdowns. If you're playing good cornerback, newsflash, they're not going to throw at you. So you can't get PBUs, you can't get picks. And it's tough to give guys an award like that without looking at PFF ratings, which is like skeptical at best because of rumors of that apparently players will play them for it's for offensive linemen and guys who don't get stats. With that being said, I think in the new Browns locker room with Deshaun Watson winning games, the defense is going to be motivated. I think Myles Garrett is going to be an absolute beast, and I think he's going to win it.
He's not even the best DN in his own division.
Oops. I love the Max Crosby pick though, Train, but
You
give me
said you
Myles
love
Garrett.
TJ Watt.
I do.
You take the
I'm not.
rival.
I already doubled up once. I can't do it again.
Fuck out of here, back.
Damn, I must really think the Browns are going far if I just picked offensive and defensive player of the year for the Browns. Oh shit. No, I'm gonna.
Wait when Gnar gets back too.
I'm gonna stick with it, but I'm also gonna say sprinkle that Brian Burns. I like that.
Offensive rookie.
I think it's gotta be Bijan.
Oh God, can you guys hear that?
Mm-mm.
It is a train.
You're a train.
I am trained.
Oh, I heard that.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I thought that was just you speaking.
Oh yeah, every time that goes off is just me.
Or getting a text
Go ahead.
message.
Offensive rookie of the year.
I think it's got to be Bijan. I mean, and before I'd take a swing on any of the QBs, I'd sprinkle Jamar Gibbs, number 2, because he looks like he's going to slot in. And when it comes to offensive rookie,
Jameer.
Who did I say?
Jamar.
Jamar Chase. Jameer Gibbs, same guy.
Yep.
I just think Bijan's going to get so many touches. I mean, Cordero's washed. Algiers more of a power back. But I think they're going to give the touches to Bijan. You got a fresh new running back. Might as well burn those legs out now while you got him for cheap. And then, same with Jameer Gibbs. The only reason I put him a little bit behind Bijan is because they paid David Montgomery. So I think he'll get a little bit more love than Algier or Cordero will in that Falcons offense. But I also trust the Lions passing game to do a little bit more than I do the Falcons passing game. So I think it's going to lead to a lot for Bijan Robinson. It's no secret that I'm thinking of taking him at 4 in the fantasy draft. So obvious, I think it's going to be a
it's not
volume
anymore.
thing.
No, he made it known.
Yeah, if I'm comfortable saying
Unless
that
I
because
take
if
him.
someone takes him top 3, then I'm going to get one But yeah, I think it's got to be Bijan. I'll sprinkle Jameer Gibbs. I'm not really confident sprinkling anybody else.
For me, I'll never take a favorite, so I'm not taking Bijan. And I don't think any 3 of these quarterbacks have the skill position players around them to really make a big enough impact from a statistical perspective in order to get those votes. And like you said, Bak, with Jameer Gibbs, I think he's going to have a 50-50 workload. Yeah, he will probably be a PPR machine when it comes to fantasy, especially if Montgomery goes down, but I don't think he sees the touches he needs to get there. And then I see this Jordan Addison guy, and it reminds me a lot of Jamar Chase's situation. He was coming into a quarterback with a solid wide receiver across from him, except he had Justin Jefferson. who's always going to get the double coverage, always is going to get the safety on top of him. So all of a sudden, Jordan Addison's got to beat one player every single play. And I think Kirk could absolutely feed him, especially in the red zone. So give me Jordan Addison, Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Love that pick.
I love the shout outs for Jahmyr Gibbs. I didn't even have to do it. I'm going to sprinkle him, obviously. Was I happy when we drafted him? No, but then I watched his highlights 10 times, and now I'm like, okay, now we just completely transformed our team around him, and it looks a lot better.
12?
We got Kamara and, like, CMC, like, Junior, hopefully.
Whoa.
That type of running back. So, what I will say is, I'll say my pick, Quentin Johnston, plus 2,200. He is in an offense where they like to throw the ball 50 times a game. He's also in an offense where he's wide receiver 3 right now, behind Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. Keenan Allen and Mike Williams love to get injured. They both just are always injured.
True.
Now I know what I said earlier. You can't count on injuries, but what if either of these? I mean, I don't know the last time either of those two guys played a whole season, but Mike Williams or Keenan Allen goes down. Now he's wide receiver 2. I mean, I think he has the talent to be just as good as Mike Williams. But if Keenan Allen does go down, then he could be even wide receiver 1 at the end of it. So in an offense that throws the ball a lot, I think plus 2,200 is pretty solid. And I could be 100% wrong, but just looking through the names, that's the one that stood out to me. It is interesting to me that like Zay Flowers and Jordan Addison were their odds are higher than Jackson Smith and Jigba and Quentin Johnston, but I think it's just because both of those guys are wide receiver 3s as of now.
JSN also has an injury.
Yeah, the wrist.
So
if you want to rely on injuries, a Tank Bigsby sprinkle isn't bad. Etienne could go down. I think Ham texted me a while ago or snapped me, and he was like, "I need unbiased. Is Etienne smart for a dynasty league? No, no, I don't think he is. He could very well get injured again. I like Tank. He might steal some touchdowns. At plus 7,500, why not sprinkle it? I also wouldn't hate a Laporta sprinkle because was Brock Wright your tight end 1, or is it not Laporta? Like, who the fuck's in that tight end room? Yeah, tight end 1. Why not? Why not sprinkle that at plus 6,000? Defensive Rookie of the Year.
I like that, Bak.
Go ahead, now.
Oh, boy. Give me Jalen Carter. He slipped on the draft for, what was the reasoning again?
Well,
is some lawsuit?
Well, he apparently was involved in a race and murder. Well, manslaughter.
Yes. So
he was racing someone. Or
talk to Comp about it. He'll tell you all about it.
So obviously, big deal. I don't condone that. But between the lines, this guy fucking dominates grown. He's going on a good defense where he's got a D-line around him where he can't get double blocked the whole game either. So I think Jalen Carter has a talent around him to make an impact right away. So I like Jalen Carter, and I think the odds reflect that reasoning too.
No Joey Porter?
I'm not like you guys. I don't say steal.
Well, the thing is, no, I am me.
But sprinkle it.
I already
I've only been sprinkling the Jags out here. Come on now.
I bet on Brian Branch a couple of weeks ago for it. So, I mean, I think it was right when he had that hit on Cole Beasley, or like a day before that, and then I saw the hit and I was like, oh, it was a great bet. And I went to go check, and I was like, his line had to have moved. He killed that guy. His line did not move. It still hasn't moved. But so with that being said, I already have him. I think Will Anderson's going to be insane. But again, I don't know if I want to take the favorites in any of these. If I had to, I would take Will Anderson in this one.
Texans super bad.
But maybe for maybe a hedge, an emotional hedge, Lucas Van Ness on I believe the Packers is coming into a defense that's really good already, played pretty well last year, and I'm kind of scared of him. He's from Iowa, as is Jack Campbell, which I haven't really heard a lot of news about. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it they just create dogs out there, and I'm just kind of spooked of him. I'm kind of scared.
I wanted to go Jack Campbell here because
Okay.
I think he's
Nice.
going to eat tackles, and I think tackles are like I think tackles get slept on as part of it, which is one of the things. So that's why I was like, So I decided to go with Tyree Wilson, opposite side of Max Crosby. He's not going to get the best guy blocking him. They'll move him around in a good scheme. I don't think the Raiders are going to be that good necessarily, but I think the defense is going to shine. I think Tyree Wilson is going to get a lot of sacks, similar to Defensive Player of the Year. I think sacks is something people look at, and they're just like, oh, yeah, he's pretty good. He got a lot of sacks. So I think it's going to be Tyree Wilson. Train.
We lost Trey.
We did lose Train. Oh, sounds like he's getting yelled at. So yeah, I think I got Tyree Wilson. I got Andy Train. I appreciate you putting Antonio Johnson on there. I'm not even
I
gonna tell you
had to
to.
find some sort of Jags guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even gonna tell you to sprinkle it. I think he'll be. I mean, he might be the starting safety. He'll play out in the nickel for sure. But and he was a good pick where we got him. But I think it's gonna be Tyree Wilson. I think he's in a good system for him to succeed.
Nice.
Train. Can you take us into the next one?
Coach of the year. The last
I'm
few
cooking
coaches
something
have
up over here.
basically just been kind of getting a lot more wins that season than the season before. That's why I'm not too sure about Dan Campbell. We had 9 wins last year. He's the favorite at plus 850. I love him. But I think a lot of hype around Sean Payton at plus 900. But I mean, if the Broncos come back and do well, everyone is going to say it's because of him. So I don't see this going to anyone else other than Sean Payton. And it's
Yeah.
only contingent on Russ and how good Russ can toss the ball still, but that's
For
my
all
thought
the reasons
process.
you just said, I'm on the Broncos too. I don't really have anything else to add. I don't think there's any way he doesn't get this award.
Right.
Unless the Broncos stink.
Yeah.
Damn it, Bak.
I know you probably would have taken Dan Campbell if he wasn't the favorite, but my guy's not the favorite. So I gotta take Doug Peterson at plus 2,000.
Did you hear why I didn't take Dan?
No.
I said typically every year a coach of the year just wins it because they took a team the previous year and just got more wins, and I don't see Dan Campbell getting an extreme amount, like a lot more wins than he did last year when we went 9-8. Like if we get like 13, I can see it, but I don't know if I can see us getting 13 wins. But if you can see the Jags getting 12 wins plus. Jersey bet still on the line. I don't know if people remember that. Then I understand.
I mean, if they're winning 12 games, I mean, they're winning every game in their conference, or they're getting wins over teams like Chiefs, 49ers, Bills. They got a division winner schedule this year. And if they go out and win another division, and decidingly so, I mean, win totals was one thing last year, but it was an obviously weak division. So I think if Doug Peterson marches these Jags to a definitive division win, even though it's still a poopy butt division, he was in the talk last year. Turned it. I mean, from what you saw in Urban Meyer, the turnaround's been real. We've been bad for a couple of years, well, a lot of years. I love him at plus 2,000. I love him. I don't have a lot of rationale. There's definitely some bias, but at plus 2,000, I love it. Comeback player of the year.
Player of the year. I think it's group consensus. Damar Hamlin. I mean, I got an alert from ESPN that he made the roster. Good for him. No hate, but
Did
Is
you
it
guys
I
know
mean,
his name before
Calvin
the
Ridley.
injury?
Calvin Ridley.
is it actually minus 285 and then the next
Dead
highest is
ass.
plus
Dead
2,000?
ass. Dead ass.
Did you know his name before the injury?
Hell no.
No, no one did.
It's not even. He's not a starter. I mean, this is a weird topic to talk about, I guess. But Calvin Ridley plus 3,500. If the guy balls out, why shouldn't he win that?
And now, I mean, now they've got a clone out there so that the NFL doesn't have to deal with the PR mess that a guy dying on the field would bring. They're about to hand the reward to a cloned Damar Hamlin, per sources.
Really, football.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Train, if Calvin Ridley goes nuts, how do you not give it to a guy who's been out of the league for 2 years?
Or John Michie.
Yeah, how does he have better odds than Cup? That's kind of crazy.
Well,
Because he hasn't taken
he also.
he
I'm
hasn't
pretty
taken
sure
an
he had.
NFL snap.
Pretty sure he had like cancer.
Oh,
I'm gonna take
you're
Lamar
100%
Jackson.
right.
I don't know if it's comebacky and not.
Is he even? Oh, he's
on there.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I'm gonna take Lamar Jackson.
I would take Calvin Ridley or Michie. I mean,
But I mean, obviously, like
Yeah.
it's gonna beat Damar. It's gonna beat Damar Hamlin.
Trey Lance.
All he's got to do is get on the field, one snap, and they'll give it to him. But I'll throw one out there for Lamar Jackson. Nar, who you got?
I mean, I guess I have to take Damar if it's minus 280. I'm not going to waste my money on any of the other guys. They're basically telling you it's going to be Damar.
right?
This is a 17-game award, and they're saying minus 285.
And they were sending out alerts that he made the roster.
Yeah, you got to go Damar. The guy almost died.
I mean, yeah, consensus, but sprinkle something.
Oh, then I love Cooper Cup.
I think it's.
I don't know why he's that low.
think it's because it's gonna minus 285. You know, like
I don't even know how this award is calculated. Like
Me neither.
I don't know
games
who.
you
I don't
played
know
last
who.
year and how many.
I don't know who votes for NFL awards. Like I know in baseball it's the writers. It's like the Baseball's Writers Guild of America, but I don't know how the NFL does voting.
Yeah.
I put the next few on here, depending on time, if we needed it, passing yards, rushing yards, receiving yards. Kind of thought of it because of Ham and Nars bet, but I don't know what we're at. Or, I mean, I still got college football here.
Yeah, we should
Baseball
probably
talk.
definitely jump into college football.
What are we at?
53 minutes.
Okay. I think, damn, I could have saved a lot of time today.
Well, we can move those over. I mean, you know.
All right. Yeah.
But yeah, college football starts this weekend. Michigan plays on Peacock, which is a little fucked.
So you literally can't watch unless you have a Peacock membership.
Yeah, and then I like, I can get 7-day free trial, and then but like it's just it's cable with extra steps now with all this streaming service bullshit. It's just like when you get on your cable and you're like, oh, we don't have the whatever package, we don't have that channel. But now it's just like, no, NBC, who normally broadcasts for free on cable, now you also have to buy their streaming platform to watch Michigan play East Carolina. I don't know. I might not even watch it because it's fucked. It's so fucked. I'm not upset about the mission. Like it's just,
It's where the sports
the
world's
only
going.
the only thing streaming didn't have going for it was live sports, and now they're slowly sucking the live sports. But now they're even making it to the point where you've got to have cable, and you have to have all the streaming services. It's so fucked up. You got to buy Peacock, but you also have to have Fox and CBS. It's so fucked. It's so fucked up. Go through the records. I'm losing my mind. Someone take this away from me. No, does Michigan State get 6 wins? That seems low.
I don't think there's a bat chance in hell they do.
Your quarterback's great, though, from what I've heard from State
The
fans.
over was plus money, if that tells you anything.
Yeah. I couldn't name you a wide receiver. Not sure who our running back is. I mean, I also haven't really followed the offseason that much, aka at all. Once Keon Coleman, Jaden Reed, and Peyton Thorne all left within like a week and a half time span. So I think they'll get 2 or 3 wins very early, and then they'll just get their shit pumped in the Big Ten Conference. So I would take the under, but I think that line 5.5 is right where they're going to be. They're going to be at 5 or 6.
Trey, he's feeling safe with 10.5 over for Michigan.
Safe.
Yeah, safe.
Penn State does scare me a little bit.
Fuck Penn State.
What about Ohio State?
We obviously
always scary. Michigan State's always, even when State's not good, it's still normally a good game for Michigan.
I think we either lose to Penn State, Michigan State, and Ohio State, or we beat all of them. So let me take the over.
So you think we lose all three or win all three, or you think like?
Yeah.
I don't think we lose all three. I could see us dropping 2 of those 3. Like Ohio State still scares me. I feel like every year we like the last 2 years when we've beaten them, I think we're just like
time, right? This year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like
I think
the
they're
last 2
average,
seasons
so-
we're just like fueling the fire. But also, Ryan Day just might not be him. That could be a thing. Now Penn State, they can suck my dick and twist it. I hope we blow the brakes off of Iowa. But again, I always get scared for a Michigan State game because even when Michigan's really good and Michigan State's not, then it turns into a trap game because it's still a big rivalry. It's at Spartan Stadium again this year.
You have everything to lose.
And that's our national championship at that point.
Everything to lose, nothing to gain. I mean, obviously, I shouldn't say beating State is nothing to gain because as a Michigan fan, it still is very satisfying when we beat State. I'd like to clean their clocks. But, I mean, even last year when it wasn't super competitive, it still wasn't necessarily a blowout. And what did it end, like 29-7? But
Gnar was
Yeah.
hammered. He was so drunk.
yeah, but it was tight until, like, the end.
And it was like 2 very late scores.
Yeah, it was close for a while. I was sweating for a team that went to the college football playoffs and beat Ohio State again.
I was very drunk.
But I take the over on 10.5 for sure. Harbaugh's suspension, I think it's a little bit of a non-factor. It's the early.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth talking about.
Yeah,
It's 3 games where you guys are playing high schoolers.
exactly. I'm not too worried about it. I don't want to hear strength of schedule bullshit talk anymore because SEC ducks conference games. I don't know why they get to play less conference games than every other conference in the NCAA. They've been taking cupcake schedules for years, and our preseason schedule next year is a gauntlet. They're cupcake games for a reason. It's so guys don't get injured, and you can let people play in front of their parents early on before the real big boys start to play later on in the season. So I don't want to hear about strength of schedule bullshit, all right? Everyone does it, and Michigan didn't do it for years. Then we finally get a team that contends. Everyone's like, oh, but did you see their schedule? I'm like, fuck you. See who Bama plays? For fuck's sake. They couldn't even make the playoffs, and they had a cupcake schedule. Big Ten football across the board is better than SEC football, hands down.
Whoa. I don't know about that.
Like top tier, like they win the playoffs for sure. But give me like an Iowa over like almost every other team in the SEC.
Okay.
No Big Ten, no Big Ten game is ever easy unless it's the Rutgers. Rutgers, unless it's Rutgers, not the Rutgers, because their school is named dumb. But it allows us to play in Washington, D.C., which is why we let them into the division conference. Whatever. Big Ten's tough. It's a tough schedule. 10.5's a lot. I think they hit it, obviously. I don't love the hype. I hate when my teams are in spotlights. I hate the narrative of like, oh, this is their year. They're the best team ever. Like, yes, but shut the fuck up. Quit talking about it so much. Don't put that evil on us, Ricky Bobby. Who you got to win the championship?
Michigan.
I feel like
Go Blue, Michigan. I'm taking it too. I got to put money
I
on
took
it.
Georgia last year, like week 2, when I think Bama was playing against Texas, and it was like a really close game. And so this is like the one sport where I feel like it's not really that stupid to just put money on the favorite because it usually just happens. I think every year. So, I mean, obviously, I'll just throw money on Michigan because I I would be so pissed if I didn't, kind of thing. But I think you guys probably listened to PMT today. He was pretty high on LSU. Um, I don't know enough about college football to. I don't know much
Not in
enough
depth,
about.
yeah.
I don't know enough about the guys on the teams. So go blue. I'd probably put Michigan and Georgia.
Nar?
Yeah, I'm the same as you guys. Not very up to date as I would like to be on college football, but plus 220 is just not enough for me to take a future, especially before the season even starts for their team. And I think this is an SEC award, so I'm going to take the next best, Bama plus 600. There's a lot of talk about the quarterback might not being up to snuff, but knowing Bama will be a Heisman candidate within 6 or 7 weeks.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't hate taking the Heisman favorite out of USC and Caleb
Oh,
Williams.
I forgot to
That value, and you got the best quarterback in the nation. Why the fuck not?
Really quickly.
Because they should be able to sneak in, and all they got to do is win 2 games, right?
Really quickly before we jump into Wager Wheel, which NCAA football's been added on to, but I'm looking at these week 1 games Train put on here. I think you have to hammer the over in both the state game and the Michigan game.
And Utah.
Maybe Utah. I don't know enough about that game.
No,
to
no.
say it.
No. You hammer Utah.
Okay. So maybe put those in a little 3-way parlay. I think Michigan will score 52 by themselves, which is, I mean, essentially what they'll have to do. But East Carolina might chip in 7 or 14, and I think State and Central Michigan is going to be a shootout. I don't know Central Michigan's defense, but I know State's cornerbacks probably still aren't good. In 45 and a half.
Fair.
I mean, I don't know. I think both those games people are gonna be ready for football. I think they're gonna be ready to go. The one thing
might
that's
just show up to the tailgate and start drinking.
Michigan scares me a bit because I think it's gonna be another season where the first 10 games all we do is fucking run the ball up the middle, and we're getting upset. But I mean, Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards will probably run all over East Carolina. We'll probably see backups, but it's East Carolina. I think they'll get 52 by themselves. So I'm just look at those 3. Quick little baseball note: Tigers got 59 wins. They need 11 more to hit 70. I think they will. They've slowed down, but they were playing the Astros, so they got a little bit of a cupcake schedule coming up on the end. I think they'll get there. They can do it. We'll jump into Wager Wheel. Nar might have been on here as a guest, but I don't think he's been on here.
Yeah.
Can we start it for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I did 1 or 2 of them, I think.
Oh, nice.
I'm currently messing with the screen here because I did not crop it appropriately.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nar, do you think Coach Prime covers 20.5 at TCU?
That's my second favorite bet right there.
Okay, I put it on there because I kind of wanted to chat on it. I mean, LSU at Florida State is also a great opener, so I think that game's on Sunday, which might be kind of
That's Sunday night.
Yeah,
Like Sunday night.
like Sunday Night Football.
I think
we're so bad.
I think the 2 best games of the weekend are your kickoff Thursday night in Utah and Florida, and your Sunday night cap with Florida State LSU.
Yeah.
Who wants the first spin?
Nar.
Me.
Nar always gets first spin.
Lot on the wheel. It's getting beefy. When NFL comes around, we'll have even more. Ooh, Nar, you got a fun one to start. First football bet, official football bet in the pod. NCAA football away spread.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, you already liked one, Nar. You already said you liked one.
That was Utah.
No, the other one.
Colorado. Coach Prime. He's got all the talent in the country. He took half of his team, so they already got that chemistry. The dude got his toe cut off and came back to practice for these guys. You don't think they're going to go out there and bleed for this motherfucker? Colorado plus 20.5.
Colorado plus 20.5. Train.
Sprinkle money line.
You've got MLB home money line.
Ugh. I've been chugging at MLB all summer. Damn.
Yeah.
No, I put all the hypotheticals on there. If you read through them, it's kind of funny.
And then Bak has MLB away money line. So Nara with the only football bet, Colorado plus 20.5. Cole's got a home money line. I've got an away money line.
This just in via Ham. It looks like the GM for the Chiefs is hopeful that Chris Jones will play in the season opener.
Uh-oh.
Not good.
Not great. Let's see. Away.
I got home money line.
Yeah, is there only 2
Yes.
games tomorrow?
I have no idea. And at the MLB,
Yeah.
I'm
I'm only seeing 2 right now.
seeing 2, and one's the Tigers.
Yeah.
You know what? I tried it last time, and the bet got voided. So, I mean, why not, right? I guess I'll take the Tigers again.
Yeah. I'll take
You
the
get
Marlins.
Matt Manning.
Tigers home money line. Marlins away money line. Colorado plus 20.5. Sprinkle the money line. Boys, any closing thoughts?
I just want to get 4 more subs so we do another duck race.
Are we still doing Money in the Bank?
That was so fast. Yes, we're still doing money in the bank.
There is no team in college football that is more fun to bet on than the Utes out of Utah. Minus 4.5. The only reason the spread's at 4.5 is because Florida's got that name, and it just makes you think of fucking Tebow. This team is gonna murder Florida. This team's never fun to bet on. They're very fun to scare shit out of you. It's gonna be an electric game. Put the over with it. Utah is gonna win by 4.5. The very end.
No alternate line. You love that.
Just take it straight up. That's a good number. I think they win by a touchdown. Unlike the last time. It's going to be the best kick off the football league ever.
I might back that. I love betting on the Utes.
Love
My
it.
favorite team.
What are you listening to, Bark?
Nothing. I was just nodding yes.
No, you were just like it looked like you were listening to something.
Guess you'll have to listen and find out. Anything else for us, boys?
So there was something playing.
Maybe. I don't know. The listeners know.
We got Gnar back. We got Money in the Bank. We got bets. I still had a bet on stupid old baseball, but we're kind of back.
Are we getting rid of baseball when football's back?
It's
I don't think
still
it's
gonna.
shit about baseball.
It's a wager wheel, man. We'll still.
No, dude.
We're all gonna be
Fuck
doing.
that.
Yeah, but we're gonna have all of our teasers. Like we got our NFL bets still.
Oh, we're still doing that. Okay.
Yeah. We just I got all the records up. Yeah, we're doing the three-way three-way teaser. We got Money in the Bank. We got Field Goal Frenzy. We got our TD score parlay. Anything else for us, boys, before we log off?
I'm good.
Thanks for listening. Episode 38 of Jux and All Things Sports Podcast, presented to you by Always Boolin. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Get us to 30. Duck Race Part 2. We're on our way. Spotify, thanks for listening. Follow, drop a review. Really helps us out. And as always, boys, let's fist it. Football's back.